not the slope, not the demand curve, but elasticity. So let me, after the lecture, as I said, I will give 10-15 minutes to make a question answer part, so you will share every ideas in your mind as well. Please try to understand here, what is the price elasticity? The price elasticity is the ratio between the percentage change. This word is important, okay? Please try to understand this. Look at here the formula again. Percentage change in price, percentage change in quantity demanded, divided by the price change. So here in the numerator, you will have percentage change of Q over percentage change of price. So quantity demanded in the numerator is percentage change, and quantity, the price of the good, percentage change is in the denominator. So the price elasticity of demand is the percentage change in the quantity demanded of a good divided by the percentage change in the prices. This is your definition. Okay. What is here different from the slope? Slope is just change in quantity over change in prices. I didn't put the slope formula here, but change in prices, change in quantity over change in prices. But here it is not change. Please look at this is important. When I say something is important, please try to memorize or learn it. This is percentage change, not a basic change. Okay, percentage change of quantity demanded divided by the percentage change of the prices. So elasticities can be useful divided into 5 categories. Okay, we have 5 categories in elasticities. This is perfect elasticity, normal elasticity, unit elasticity, inelasticity, and perfectly inelasticity. This is exactly about the shape of our graph. Okay, so don't try to mix your mind. We will have a graph, okay, XY line. Okay, please look at this. Do you see this? Left-hand side, elastic demand. This is price and quantity. What does this mean? As I said, to learn the issue, to learn the topic is your priority, not to memorize graph or style. But here, what is my formula? My formula is about the elasticity. My formula is this. Percentage change in quantity. Please look at here. Percentage change in quantity and percentage change of the prices. So if I say to you, if I put a numeric number here, if let's say Q1 and P1 is 3 and 3, okay, I'm just giving a numeric number, okay, just a basic idea for you to understand the concept. If P1 and Q1 is 3 and 3, let's say if Q2 is 5, meaning that this is 3 and this is 5, there is two distance here between Q1 and Q2. If this Q2 is 5 and I have 2 unit distance here, is this distance greater than 2 or less than 2? This is less than 2, right? It is closer. It is closer. So if this percentage is greater than this one, so what I have, percentage change of Q is 2 and this is less than 2. So I am dividing 2, a number of less than 2. This is greater than 1, right? This is greater exactly than 1 because percentage change in Q is greater than percentage change in prices. So this division is greater than 1. So it is elastic. Look at the graph. This is elastic. Okay, because quantity percentage change is greater than quantity price percentage change, this number, this division is greater than 1. So I have an elastic demand. And shape is like this, a little bit. By the way, sorry for all, because I think I have a lag effect of COVID during for previous week. My truth is like a disaster. Our guests, some of guests knowing the issue, and here is Ramadan. In Muslim world, we have Ramadan, holy month, and here is around 5 p.m. and we are deprived of water and eating approximately 10 hours, but still I'm energetic. Everything is good. But because of my health issue, it is a little problematic. Just think this. This is your XY. Okay, this is your XY graph, XY dimension. If your demand curve close to parallel to X line, your demand is elastic. Okay. If your demand curve close to parallel to X line, it is elastic. If your demand curve, please look at this demand curve now. If it is close to parallel to Y line, it is inelastic. What does this mean? Why we mean by elastic or inelastic? For instance, if somebody has a behavior about the flexibility, or if we have a plastic, right? This is plastic. If I put this plastic, right? If I put this plastic under the sun during the days and days and days and days, then this plastic will lose its flexibility and it will dry, right? It will dry under the sun. And we are saying that it is not flexible, it is not elastic. It is not give a sensitivity to my movement. It will, if I move, it does not give any flexibility. It is directly broke. It is like a stone. A plastic can lose its flexibility. So please look at here. And please look at this graph. If you understand the difference between these two graphs, you don't have to listen the rest of the slides. You will understand the price elasticity. Okay, what does this mean? Do you see that here, if I change my price a little amount, small amount, I'm changing my price small amount, my quantity demanded changes strictly, huge amount. What does it mean? This is a good, not necessary for me. If price small change, I can change my demand hugely for this product because my demand is elastic. For instance, this product is not a necessary for me. Let's say this. I have to be alive, I need breath. I'm breathing. I need water. I need food. These are necessary. Okay. These are my necessary. Whatever the price for this product, I will pay to be alive. Okay. But let's say I want to take, let's say ladies are here. Let's say they are really liking the jewelry, and they want to get a ring for gold and bracelet from the gold center. Okay. And during 1 month, let's say price of gold is $1,000. Okay. $1,000. Then the ladies saving their money to take this gold, okay, from the market, to take this gold. And then the price of the market saying that now the gold price is 1,100, meaning that 10% increase. Okay, the gold price increased 10%. I'm asking for all the guests here, Is this lady lose anything if she doesn't buy this gold from the market? No. She will just buy this gold from the market to be elegant in the meetings, right? It is not necessary. And she can change her demand directly for any price changes because it is not a necessary good for her. And any price changes for her, for instance, here, price is decreasing. Do you see? The P1 is above the P2. So price is decreasing. So if price decreasing, I increase my demand, right? But let's think vice versa. If this is the first, let's say P2, Q2 is P1, Q1. And if this price is go here from here to here, my demand is so much decreasing, more than price changes. So this good is not necessary for me. It is my demand for this good is elastic. I can change my demand even I don't buy it. But please look at here. Please look at here. There is a seller. There is a seller for this product and there is a buyer for this product, right? And I'm asking to you, what is the difference between this graph and this graph? If you understand this difference, you will understand the whole topic. The difference is this. Here, if the producer change prices, small unit here, his sales decreasing so much because any small change in prices so much sensitive to quantity demanded. Okay, he is losing lots of customers. But here, producer changes prices huge amount, but the quantity demanded and customer doesn't change their demand for this product. Do you see the difference now? Here, price increase so small, but quantity and customer demand so much. But prices here changing so much, but nobody changing their demand. This is like a water. Okay, whatever the seller give the price for you, you should buy. Your demand doesn't change. Okay. For instance, one saying here, please look at here. Please look at here. One saying to you that on the left-hand side graph, one saying you to that, if the price of this product is 3, if the price of this product is 3, you are demanding 12. But if this product price is go 4, you are demanding half of it. Price changing 1 unit, but the demand changing 6 units. Because you are elastic. You don't have to use and consume this product. Okay. You can save your money. You can consume your money anywhere else. But here, this is water. Okay. Producer of water saying that I'm increasing my price 2 times larger, but your demand even didn't decrease 10%. Price increase 100%, but your demand even didn't change 10%, because this is a necessary good for you. Whatever the price is, your demand is inelastic. Okay? Elasticity is the main issue on their products. Okay, look at this. Look at this slide, please. This slide also giving the main priorities of the demand and supply condition and price elasticity of the market. Please look at the definition here again. The elasticity of demand tells us how sensitive the quantity demanded is to the goods price. How sensitive, okay, the word is important. How sensitive my demand for any change in prices. If price increase 10%, how many decreasing my demand? Okay, 10%. For instance, if price decrease 10%, if I increase my demand 10%, my elasticity is unit elastic. It's exactly the same unit. price decreasing 10%, demand increasing 10%. Same unit elastic. But if price decrease 50% and if my demand increase less than 50%, this means that inelastic demand. Because look at here. The price elasticity of demand is defined by percentage change. Please try to memorize this word, not the basic delta change, percentage change. In quantity demanded, percentage change in price. My question is this. Everybody here know from the previous class that price and quantity, law of demand saying that price and quantity change in different direction, right? If my price increase, my quantity demanded decrease, or vice versa. If price decrease, I increase my demand for the product, right? So elasticity always will be minus, okay? Because this is minus, this is plus. If you divide, always elasticity is minus. But, I say 3 times, okay? But you will never take into consideration the minus sign. You will always think the elasticity as absolute value, okay? Minus or plus is not important. I will always think elasticity as absolute value, okay? Then, please also look at this formula. Do you see? This is word formula and this is mathematical formula. Percentage change of quantity demanded divided by percentage change of price, okay? And elasticity is always computed as a ratio of percentage, never the ratio of amount or change, percentage change, okay? And here is a good example for you. Suppose that when price of cigarettes rise by 10%, price change. Do you see this part? Price change 10%. This is 10%, okay? Quantity of cigarettes demand decreased by 5%. This is my quantity demanded. And I'm dividing this to this. What is the result? -1/2, right? So my question is this. The elasticity is -1/2. And a few seconds ago, I said that you will never think the minus sign, okay? You will always think the number as absolute value. So always keep this minus number in the price elasticity. So if the elasticity is 1/2, no minus sign, okay? If the elasticity is 1/2, is this demand elastic or inelastic? I tried to give a question to you, but no, because we have lots of attendance here, so everybody couldn't reply this. But please turn here. Okay, and please turn here. What I say, if the elasticity greater than 1, if the elasticity is greater than 1, I have elastic. If it is equals to 1, I have unit elastic. If it is less than 1, it is inelastic. If it is 0, perfectly inelastic. So what is my result? 1/2. Is it less than or greater than 1? Less than 1. So the demand for cigarette is inelastic. Okay, it is inelastic because cigarette making addiction for the people. For instance, let's say 1 packet cigarette today is $5. And if I say that I selling 1 packet of cigarette for $5 and every day I'm selling 1,000 units. If I increase 1 packet dollar price from 5 to the 7, 40% increase. I'm increasing 1 packet cigarette price 40%. So will the demand 1000 packet demand decrease 40%? No, because it is inelastic. Everybody will proceed to consume cigarette again and again. Okay, they will continue to consume the cigarette. And please try to look at, always keep this formula in mind. If my demand is elastic, okay, it should be greater than 1. If it is 1, it is unit elastic. If it is less than 1, it is inelastic. What is the properties of the price elasticity of demand? Price elasticity of demand is usually a negative number. Okay, because price and quantity in demand in reverse direction. So if my price increase, my quantity demand will decrease. So price elasticity will always be a negative number. But I'm always taking the absolute value. Okay, no negative number there. We are taking absolute value. And if my elasticity is greater than 1, indicated that the price is elastic. Okay, price is elastic. Perhaps because the good has many substitutes. What does it mean? If I have an elastic demand for coffee, this means that coffee have lots of substitutes. I can drink Coke, I can drink fruit juice, I can drink tea, but water is not have substitute. You can't get satisfaction if you consume the water by consuming something else. You should consume water. It doesn't have a substitute, but tea has a substitute. You can consume coffee instead of tea. Okay, so if your price elasticity is greater than 1, if your demand is elastic, this means that you have lots of substitute for that good. But if the price elasticity is less than 1, this means that you don't have lots of substitute. This is like salt. This is like water. Okay, you should have to consume those, and there is no substitute for them. This is important given a linear demand curve. The elasticity is not constant among the curve. Okay, please keep this in mind. If I give a line to you, this is your line. Okay, this is your line. On this line, from here to here, on this line, the slope is always constant because slope is tangency of this angle, Okay, but the elasticity is not constant. Elasticity change among the curve. Okay, and please look at here. Okay, please look at here. Income elasticity of demand. What does this mean? Let's say Dr. Walchin have a good budget. Okay, have a good budget. And one day he is going to take something from the market, and income elasticity saying this. Income elasticity measures the percentage change in quantity demanded resulting from percentage change in income. Similarly, if my income changes, what will happen to my quantity demanded? So if my income elasticity is positive, okay, if my income elasticity is positive, this means that my income increasing and I'm increasing the demand for that product at the same amount. So this is a normal good for me. This is like bread. This is like water. This is like car. This is like gasoline. Okay, but if my demand decreasing and my income elasticity is less than 0, this means that as my income increase, I'm not consuming that good. This is an inferior good for me, not a normal good. Let's say when you are poor, you are eating something to be alive because it is cheap, but you don't like to eat it. Okay. And one day you become a rich person. So you will never use and consume that product because you don't like its taste. You are consuming it because you are poor and it is necessity. But now, sorry for this. Sorry for that. It is urgent and I said it is okay.
No, that's okay.
And I want to say here that if you are consuming something because you are poor, you have low income, but you don't like its taste, but to be alive, you are consuming it. And one day you become rich and you have lots of money to eat, to consume lots of different products. Then you will never consume that product that you are using and consuming while you are poor, and you will never use that. It is inferior good for you, not a normal good. Okay. And income elasticity saying this: if your elasticity is minus for your income, for your demand, this means that that good is inferior for you. But if it is positive, it is normal. As your income increases, you still consume that product. And cross price elasticity. What does this mean? Please look at the formula. These are important. Here, when you change your quantity here, this price also for the same product. But here, you are changing quantity of X with respect to change in price of Y. So these are two different products. For that reason, the name is cross price elasticity. Okay. So I'm asking on my own. I will answer the question on my own again. Let's try to answer this. If my price for a product increase, if my price for the product is increased, and if I increase my demand for other products, what, for instance, I have two goods. Okay, I have two goods in my basket. Okay, two goods. The price of this good increasing. Okay, the price of this good increasing. But I'm increasing my demand for other products. Are these two products substitutes or complements? These are substitutes, right? Because if this price increasing, and if I get from this product same taste, same satisfaction, same utility, if this price increase, this goods price increase, I will never consume this product. I will increase this product, right? So they are substitute. They are giving same taste for me. If the price of this product increase, I will increase my demand for other products, right? So they are substitute. So if the cross price elasticity is positive, this means that these products are substitute, right? The price of this product increasing, I'm increasing my demand for other products. Both is positive. Plus, so price elasticity, cross price elasticity is positive because they are substitute. But if you are complement, like car and gasoline, okay, or car and wheel, if the price of wheel increase, you will never buy the car. Or if the car prices increase, you will never buy a wheel because you don't have a car. They consume at the same time. You can't consume. Please memorize the definition of complement as this. You can't consume complementary products as alone. You should consume them at the same time. Okay, wheel and car. Okay, tie and shoe. Okay, these are complements. So if the complements product price, one of them is increased, I will never demand other products. So they have cross correlation. So their cross price elasticity, demand is negative. And what I say a few minutes ago, that elasticity along a linear demand curve. Along a linear straight line demand curve, the slope is constant. Please think this. Look at this graph, please. On this graph, even in C, even in B, even in E, even in wherever I am, the slope is constant. What is the slope? Slope is this. 1 over 5. Even in A, even in B, even in C, even in D, the slope is 1 over 5. Everywhere, because slope is computing this angle's tangency. And this is 1, and this distance is 1, and this distance is 5. Everywhere it is 1 and 5. So 1 over 5 is my slope. And what is the definition saying me here? The slope is constant along the demand curve, but the elasticity is varies. Elasticity is changing among the demand curve. Along a linear demand curve, if unit elastic is midpoint, you see this B, this is unit elastic. The points above the unit elasticity is elastic demand. The points below the unit elasticity is inelastic demands. So look at the rule here. Any price above the midpoint, any price above the B, the demand is elastic here. And any price below the midpoint, below the B, demand is inelastic. Okay, you should try to understand the concept here. And so much, not theoretical, but real world question to you. Please, everybody, read the question on the screen. Because everybody read the question, but if somebody is just listening but not focusing on the screen, I'm reading the question again. If you own a business and you raise your price of the product, will your total revenue increase or decrease? Because everybody's supposing that I have a product, I'm selling each unit of my product, let's say $10. Okay. Let's go step by step here. I have a product and its price is $10. Okay. And I'm using, if I say is $10, I'm selling 100 units. So I'm selling 100 units and each unit has $10. What is my total revenue? It is 1,000, right? Because I'm selling 100 unit with the price of 10. Okay. So if you are producer, every basic, like a child, basic, people who don't know the economics asking this question themselves. If my price is this, and if I'm selling 100 units, let's increase my prices from 10 to 20, and let's increase my total revenue. This is not economics. Because if you increase your price, the unit you sold will decrease because total demand for your product will decrease because of the increase in prices, right? You know this now. And the question for you is this. Because of you increase your price from 10 to, let's say, 50%, you are selling your product $10 and your new price is $15. Okay. Initially, you're selling 100 units, but now with the $15 price, you will sell less. So what will be your total revenue? This is depend on the price elasticity of demand. Okay. And please read here. Read this sentence. Total revenue and price elasticity of demand. Total revenue spent on a good and received by its sellers and equals the price of good multiplied by quantity of sold. So I have 10 units product. Okay, 10 units is my price, and I'm selling 100 units. My total revenue, 100 times 10 equals $1,000. And if I increase my price from 10 to 15, what will happen my total revenue? Will it be greater than 1,000 or less than 1,000? This is directly related with, will I sell 100 units or less than 100 units? How many less than 100 units? So the answer is here, ladies and gentlemen. Answer is saying that if your demand is elastic, a given percentage rise in price increase will bring larger decrease on your quantity, right? Because your price is elastic. It is greater than 1. Remember this formula. Remember the formula here. What is my formula saying here? My formula is saying this. If I increase my per price 50%, and if my demand is elastic, what does this mean? My quantity demand will decrease greater than 50% to make my elastic demand, right? Because if this is 50 and if this number is greater than 1, what does this mean? This numerator will be greater than 50. Because if I divide a number greater than 50 to a number 50, the division will be greater than 1. So go to my answer. If your demand is elastic, your price change will create greater change in quantity demanded, and your total revenue decrease. Keep in mind, by changing your prices, you will not always increase your revenue, okay? And every producer around the world know this fact, okay? So if you are taking a Swatch watch from Switzerland, this is a luxury good. You can't change your price so much because the producer of this watch, knowing that this is not a necessary good for the producer or consumers. So if I increase my price so much, everybody stop to buying this watch and I will lose all my revenue. Okay. If the demand is elastic, you will adjust your prices so accurately. But if the demand is inelastic, okay, whatever the price, even you increase or decrease your price, whatever you do, your total revenue increase. Because everybody should buy this product. Demand for this product is inelastic, whatever the price it is. Okay, so we will see these lecture notes in next chapters in monopoly, in government intervention side. But for instance, please do this. Just to keep you in mind that lots of monopoly and lots of market dynamic make price differentiation for their products. Think this. I don't know the situation in your country, but let's say Dr. Walchin trying to buy a ticket from, how can I say, from the airlines. Okay, from the airlines. And that airlines selling same tickets for the students as well. And airline company knowing that Dr. Walchin had a basic salary and he has a position, he has a greater budget. So his demand for this product is inelastic, because whatever I give the price for this airline company for the plane ticket, he will buy it because he don't give sacrification from his luxury. He don't go to from one city to another city with bus. But if I give the same price with vouching to a student, that student will never buy it because his demand for this plane ticket is elastic. If I say to the student from $100 to $200, no student will buy it. They will all choose the bus, right? Because they have small budget and their demand is elastic for this plane ticket. So every company all around the world, even for your shampoo, even for your glass, everybody knows your price elasticity for the demand, and they are adjusting their price to increase their total revenue, their profit according to the elasticity side. So this is the end of my lecture, but I'm open to all your questions because I want to give approximately 10 minutes to take your feedback and to try to answer your question if you have any.
Thank you very much, Abdulkadir Dogan. I am very, very delighted. I loved it because even if I do not evolve personally in the world of business, from time to time I do sell products. I have my books, for example, on the market and Amazon and some other places. And from time to time, I do decide to adjust the price of any product that I put on the market. So this is a way to break down concepts of economics. We all are aware of the general principle of the supply and the demand. This is exactly what Abdulkadir just explained with very, very clear examples. Ladies and gentlemen, you've noticed how from time to time Abdulkadir used real life cases or illustrations to make his point. And I believe you would agree with me that this presentation was truly outstanding. So thank you very much, Abdulkadir. We are now going first to Ivy Suswale, who has hands up for a question as authorized by Abdulkadir. Go ahead, Ivy.
Thank you, Dr. Vasim and Abdul. My question is, why does the price increase or change, but the demand is still high? Thank you.
Where? Say me again.
Let me try to paraphrase that. What Ivy is telling us, the price has changed, but the demand keeps increasing. How do you explain this phenomenon?
Yes. As I said, this example, maybe Ivy forgot the previous session. The rule of demand saying this: if the price increase, demand will decrease. This is the rule of demand all around the world for 300 years in economics. The name is rule of demand. Price increase, demand decrease. But is there any exception for this? Yes. One time in Scotland, in United Kingdom, they faced a case that in the famine times in the United Kingdom, everybody just producing potato and they are consuming potato. So you are buying everything with your money, only potato. And to be alive, you are using it, no production there. So potato producer increasing their product prices, but people to be alive, increasing their demand to the potato. This is not normal, but because this is exception, these products, these goods called as different goods. Okay, different goods. And this is not a normal case. This is an exception. If I increase the price, demand should decrease. But if you are on an island, and on that island, if you have only $100 and only one seller of product is water and hamburger, and to be alive, you should consume hamburger and water. But you are in an island. So if that producer is a monopoly there, no alternative. And if he say that I increase my price for water from $1 to $2 for one packet of water, did you say, no, I'm not consuming that water? No, because there is no alternative there. But if you are in your country, in your city, you will go to another place, even you dig your soil and bring your water from the soil, right? But there is no alternative there, like famine times, okay?
All right. Thank you very much, Abdulkadir. Thank you, Ivy, for your question. And we are now going to turn the floor to Kaimba Pezo. We are with you at this time, Kaimba.
Thank you. My question is, I want to know if the price elasticity or inelasticity depends on the quality of the product.
Mm-hmm. Very interesting question.
Yes, it is. Let me, I wanted to add lots of points, but we have just 1 hour lecture here. And it is not on the desk because we are in remote, but quality of the products is also important, because quality of the product increasing your elasticity directly. Because if you are, for instance, let's say you have 2 alternatives on the market. Let's say 2 types of shampoo. Okay, shampoo in the market, and you want to take those shampoo as the product, and you know that one of them is so good quality, but one of them is really on the market average condition while it's producing. So in your mind, because your expectation, your preferences will determine your demand and will determine your elasticity. Let's say I am Kadir, and let's say you are Kambi. And as Kambi, you always using good quality products, and I'm consuming normal quality products. I'm indifferent, but you never consume low quality products. Okay. And if you always use the high quality product, and if the market seller know this, your demand now is inelastic. Whatever the price, you will consume. But for me, no. And everybody in electronic trading know your preferences, because you are making e-trade sales in buying, and every time you have alternatives, and sellers, for instance, let's say Amazon, knowing that they have lots of alternatives, but you are always choosing the best quality. They know that now your preferences for this product is inelastic. You really put high priority on the quality of the products. It is inelastic. Okay.
All right. Very well said. I know we are running out of time, but I am asking you, Abdulkadir, to allow 3 hands that I see up.
Okay, last 3 hands. Okay.
Questions. We're gonna go first to Moji Sola, then we will move to Duku Martin Simon, and the last question will be from Isabel Kandagoa. Starting now with Moji Sola, Esther. Go ahead, Esther.
Good evening. How are you? Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you.
Okay, so Abdulkadir, I want to ask, these laws, these different theories and laws of demand, how can this be applied to investment? Okay, so I have money and I'm watching the market on how to invest. How do I use this theory to, as a guide to know what to buy and how to invest?
Okay, perfect question. I can easily answer this question is directly in this manner. If during the COVID times, you have $1 million, you want to buy the stocks in the stock exchange, okay. Did you see the stocks in the market for which products go above? Only health products and cleaning products during the COVID times. Their price approximately 100 times increased, because whatever the price for that product, everybody will buy them. It is inelastic now. Okay, no elasticity there. There is no flexibility there. Whatever the price, that products will give. For instance, let's say the Ukraine and Russia enter the war, and I know that the price of the gasoline will go up. So I will buy the gasoline producer company in the stock exchange with my investment, because I will know that in the expectation price will go up and everybody should consume their gasoline because it is demand is inelastic.
Yoko, Martin, Simon, go ahead, sir. Martin?
Martin, you are unmuted.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Greetings to you.
Good. I just would like just to comment on one area and then maybe a question. Yeah, I think really looking in the context in my country, currently we are really facing a lot of, economic crisis. Like for instance, you find that, that those kind of companies end up even closing their business because of the prices, the demand goes high. And then you find that, you lose customers. So at the end of the day, because this is a landlord country where you are depending, to export goods to come in, so that at least you sell at the price that yes, you have to get profit. But with this economic crisis is really affecting, and really I agree with the Abdulkadir on his presentation is really I think hitting the point. And I think this is where now we need to really pay attention and really try to learn more approaches on the business strategy on how to really get profit, because when the demand really the prices goes up, and then we know the demand also comes down, because the cost, the citizen will never be able to afford to buy. So in this, automatically your stock will get expired, and then at the end of the day, this is a loss. And then another question is, we really need I don't know what other modality on approach on how do we really approach this situation, because really is really going out of hands, and it really needs intervention where one has to really have a better ways on how to see a ways how you can enter the market. You can at least win, because like you need to, these things are going to be exported from the neighboring countries, maybe overseas. So what other strategy are you going to use to see that at least you don't go to loss? And the other interesting part also on the issue of the currency, because you buy this good in hard currency, and then you end up maybe selling at the local currency where you are thinking that yes, maybe prices are going to be stable, you exchange it. But at the end of the day, you find that you are there at the loss side. You have to lose the demand, and you end up maybe to close the business. So I think these are some of the two areas where I would like just to emphasize, and maybe Abdulkadir will be able at least to help us on the way forward on how we can approach this market. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your comment, Deku, Martin, Simon. We are now ready for the last question, as I announced earlier, with Isabel Kandagoa.
Thank you.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening.
Good evening. It's 6 o'clock in Kenya now.
Okay.
Yes, so my question really is a very hard question for us in developing countries, and maybe the world over, because you realize that the value for money is going down, has actually gone down drastically. The dollar rate is dropping. The value for the Kenya shilling is going down to the rock bottom. And what some interventions, I call them induced inflation, is some administrations or other countries tend to move to the, what do I call it, corrugated okay, some sort of printing more money, printing more local currency in order to see whether we are going to beat the dollar rate, in the sense that there tends to be now more, a lot of local currency in distribution or in circulation in the country. But definitely that is still going to come back to inflation, which is very painful and very hard considering the impact of COVID. So basically what I wanted to ask Abdulkadir is, how do you now how does the principle work of increased demand, maybe reduce prices, or the elasticity, the inelasticity, and all these concepts when it comes to inflation? Because the hard currency, the dollar rate is really, the Kenya shilling is falling in value. Last week, I can just give an example. 7 days ago, the dollar was at 130. Today is hardly a week, and it is at 140. Thank you.
Price elasticity and then inflation, like Isabel refers to with regard to the situation in Kenya, the local currency going down and then the dollar going drastically up. The relationship, Abdulkadir.
Exactly. This is a good question. Inflation and price elasticity you want to correlate here, and the dollarization process. Actually, the dollarization is coming from about the macroeconomics. It is more detailed, but it is about the quantitative easing and tapering process. And today, because the liquidity in the market, because of the Fed tapering process, they increase money supply during the COVID times, and they now taking those money from the market with tapering implementation. And today, the Fed fund rate around 5%. So it is just 0.25 1 year ago. So if the interest rate rise, there is less liquidity, and this is strength on dollar. But what the determinants of price of the dollar is not the elasticity, but it is about the perception, about the risk perception. This risk perception is coming from the safe haven. Okay, if there is a problem around the market, okay, market like lots of things, but market doesn't like one thing. It doesn't like risk. Okay, he can like lots of things, but doesn't like one thing. It is risk. If there is a volatility in the market, if there is a war, if there is a political circumstances like Brexit, like Italy Brexit, those type of condition in the market. Let's say there is a political crisis between Israel and Iran. Let's say Russia and Ukraine. Let's say there's an intervention from the United States to Afghanistan. All these are risk. Okay, this is political risk. Let's say ECB say in their monetary policy meeting that they will increase the money, increase the interest rate, This is a risk again. And this is a risk again. And in this risk, money never like risk. And they will always look for safe haven. And safe haven is gold, fixed income securities, United States dollar. These are safe haven. Okay, so all money goes there, and this perception about the risk will determine the price. Not the elasticity, but perception of risk will determine the price. Okay.
Thank you. I want to do some cheating at this time because I did announce the last question, but I don't want to deny the opportunity to Charles Odua, who has his hand up at this time, to ask his question. So his is gonna be last. I want to apologize to you, Abdulkadir. So please let's allow Charles Odua to ask this last question for this presentation. Go ahead, Charles.
Thank you, Dr. Varsin. for giving me this opportunity. Yeah, I know time is over. When Isabel was saying something, I also come from Kenya. Something came up in my mind, and that's why the question came up so late. I wanted to ask Abdulkadir, in a continuum where we have both extremes, the elasticity and inelasticity, where do the price regulators need to come in this kind of scenarios?
Perfect. This is a good question, and this is a detailed question. Actually, I wanted to take question at the first, but time is out. Previous time also, I have this issue. But for the next meeting, I will make short presentation and take lots more questions, because otherwise we will not manage this time allocation process.
Yes.
We can say this directly. If there is because in every country we have competition regulation agencies from the government side, and they will follow the market dynamics. And if there is a problem in pricing determination, for instance, in your country, yes, there's a perfect competition, but you couldn't say that, let's say the big 5 markets combine each other, they build up a cartel, and they say that this product prices is this. No, you couldn't say this. Government regulation will intervene in the market and say this. So their determination, government regulation and intervention, by the way, our next 2 weeks later, our slides and presentation will be about the government intervention to the market. And you will see those details more there, but I can just for now say that they will not focus on elasticity side of the market dynamics when they are making regulation. They are just focusing on, when they are making regulation, what will have producer surplus and consumer surplus, and if these market dynamics change, what will have the social cost. Because if you decrease your producer and consumer surplus, there will be a deadweight loss, and that deadweight loss will be your social cost, and government never want this. Okay. I will tell these details in 3 weeks later. Okay.
I have no doubt, ladies and gentlemen, that we had it all. The clarity, the precision, the adequacy, the completeness, the actuality, all the ingredients that we need in a very, very academic presentation. We got it all with Abdulkadir Dogan, and on behalf of all of you, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the entire institution of Atlantic International University, I want to say thank you to you, the presenter, Abdulkadir Dogan, and I want to thank you as well, each and every one of you, dear participants, for joining us today. One more thing that I would like to say is, if you are late or if you missed any very important detail in a presentation, Dogan's presentation or any other presentation, please never worry, because you will receive a link to the entire session. It is usually recorded, and you will get a link to the recording. Once again, thank you very much, Abdulkadir. Thank you very much, everybody. It's been a real pleasure. The next date is just tomorrow, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 5 or 6 o'clock in the afternoon or in the evening in some cases, but we will be back here 10 o'clock every day, the next date again tomorrow, Wednesday. Thank you very much. Be blessed. Thank you, Abdulkadir Dogan.
Have a nice day for all participants. See you next week.